Today we're taking on the subject of posting bail and how it works under the AOR program. Stay tuned, we got a lot of info. This is attorney Andy Marcantel and attorney Marc J. Victor. We are the partners of the Attorneys for Freedom law firm here today to talk about bail. What a big subject. How you doing today, Marc?
Yeah, I'm great, and this video is one that we needed to make because we get a lot of questions from
Lots
people.
of questions about bail.
Yeah, so that's why we're making this video. We want to address this issue. So AOR is doing something that usually isn't done, right? We are actually revolutionizing the industry here. This kind of deal that people make with a law firm for us to defend people in self-defense related incidents is very different than the typical situation. So normally you don't have an attorney posting bond in a case. Right. And different states have different rules here. Most states don't have any problem with this. However, there can be issues, right? There can be ethical concerns with a lawyer posting bond in a criminal case or a civil case. These have to do with things like using the posting of a bond as an inducement to get a client to sign up and bring a what could be lucrative civil case to an attorney.
Right.
So you could imagine an attorney who says, hey, I'll pay your bond, bring your big civil rights case or some other type of case to me so I can defend you. This can create a conflict with the lawyer and the client. And so there can be ethical concerns here if the lawyer uses that as an inducement. Also, there can be concerns about the lawyer putting up the lawyer's money because the lawyer may want to get that money back, and that can create other incentives or conflicts of interest. So there's lots of information in the different ethics rules of different states, and ethics committees around the nation have concluded differently here, right? Many of them have decided under certain circumstances, if the lawyer is reasonably certain there's not going to be a conflict of interest, it's not going to affect the lawyer's professional judgment in representation in the case, then under those circumstances, it's okay for a lawyer to post the bond.
And in fact, many states have posted ethics opinions publicly stating that exact point. California is a great example. There's an ethics opinion on this exact issue that says as long as the lawyer is reasonably certain that no conflict will arise, no problem, lawyer can post bond.
I have it right here in my hand. Formal opinion number 1981-55. In the digest summary of it is an attorney is not ethically prohibited from acting as a surety for his or her client and guaranteeing his or her client's obligation to a surety on a litigation bond. Then it goes into other issues. And then there are many states that have also said you can't do it. There's about 10 of those who have said the lawyer cannot post the bond in these states. And there are many states that have simply not passed on the issue. So we don't know. There are many different variations in each state on this. So for the vast majority of states, the Attorneys on Retainer program isn't going to have any problem posting the bond. There are some states, and I have a list of them here, and there may be more because this isn't an exhaustive list, but some states including Iowa, Kansas, Maryland, Michigan, North Carolina, Virginia, Connecticut, Florida, Wisconsin, and of course New York. In those states, a lawyer representing a client can absolutely not post the lawyer's money to get the client out on a bond. Right. They've decided in that state for whatever reasons that normally don't apply to this situation, right? Because Attorneys on Retainer program, we're not expecting to get the money back. It's a small part of what we do. It's not the driving force in our representation. It certainly isn't going to have any effect on the representation that we do. We're just trying to do the best job for the client. But in those states, we cannot post our money to put the bond up. So you might be saying if you're in one of those states, well, I guess if I'm in one of those states, I can't have the bond posted. Not true. So if you're in one of those 10 states, you're thinking, hey, how on earth is the Attorneys on Retainer program, the Attorneys for Freedom law firm, I should say, going to be able to post the bond in my case if I'm in one of those states? Well, this is exactly why we employ ethics counsel.
Right.
And by the way, we've had the same ethics counsel at our law firm for over 20 years. We use, without using her name, the best of the best. I think we've got one of the top ethics counsel in the entire nation who has been counsel to our firm the entire time.
That's right.
Or the vast majority of time we've had a firm. And she has vetted every aspect of our program. In fact, she's done a letter on this very issue. So I have in my hand a 5-page letter from our ethics counsel reviewing every aspect of our program, including the bond. So how is it we are able to make good on our promise to post the bond in these 10 states where lawyers are prohibited from posting the bond?
Right.
Well, the answer to the question is, if you're in one of those 10 states, we have a third-party beneficiary who's created an account with sufficient funds in it that we can use. It's not our money. We can use those funds. They're irrevocable, so they're in there, and they are dedicated for the bond and the other incidental expenses in those 10 states or other states if it is ever determined that the lawyer can't use the lawyer's own money in those states.
Right. Yeah, and every single important detail here, every single thing, as you said, that went into making this program was thoroughly vetted through our ethics counsel. We want to make scrupulously sure that we are compliant with all the local states' regulations, ethics rules, and laws. And so for that reason, we started looking into how can we still remain compliant with these rules in these 10 states? And the answer is simple, which is this third-party beneficiary.
So, yeah, there's other fun things about bond that would be interesting to talk about. In some states, private bondsmen are illegal. Some states like Nebraska, Maine, Illinois, Kentucky, Oregon, and Wisconsin.
Yeah, this was really strange to find
Shocking.
out when I first found out about
Yeah,
this.
they've essentially outlawed the business of being a bail bondsman, and now you got to do business with the state in some form. There are slightly different rules in each state, and not a big deal. If we're in one of those states where we can post our money, then we post our money essentially to the jail or the court.
Right.
They keep the 10% up. Who imagined the government wanting more money?
It's another fundraising
Another
project.
fundraiser for the state. Some type places it's the jail. If it's a state that we can't post our money, then acting as the limited power of attorney that we already have for the third-party beneficiary fund that is established for this very reason, we have access to that money. We use that money. We post the bond, the other incidental costs, whatever we need to get done to make it happen.
So what does all this legalese boil down to? It means that we have every reason to believe that your bond will be posted in all 50 states, and we have thoroughly vetted this issue. And although states have different rules, we are prepared to post in every single state where you could possibly have a problem in thorough compliance with all local, ethical, and legal rules.
Yeah, and it really should be of no consequence to the AOR client, whether it is Attorneys for Freedom money or money that is in a separate account that is dedicated for this very purpose. In that very small group of states where we can't use our money, we use the money from the third-party beneficiary to accomplish the same goal.
Yeah, we're putting in the work, guys, to really change the paradigm here from these insurance-backed companies to make sure that you guys have the best coverage on the market. And this is a particularly important revelation, perhaps for people who travel between different jurisdictions, to know that no matter which of the states they have with their individual, some crazy laws, that they're going to be covered no matter which state they go to. We have an answer for each and every jurisdiction, in other words.
Yeah, we're not confused about the fact that there are some states that just don't like these kinds of programs, and we'll make sure that we've dotted the I's and crossed the T's to make sure that we are on the right side of every issue, whether it's a legal issue or it's an ethics issue, to make sure that our program is protected, because at the end of the day, we got to deliver on what it is we've promised to do. We know exactly what our mission is. If you call that emergency number, we know, in fact, if you want to know what happens when you call the emergency number, we just cut a video about the strike force. We'll put that one in the link as well so people can check out what happens when they call the emergency number.
Whew, we had to get into a little bit of legalese on today's video, Mark. I hope it's somewhat clear to the people watching, but I think it was important that we needed to make this video. We were getting lots of questions on how bail works, and while it is kind of complicated because it involves so many different jurisdictions' rules, rest assured we have answers for all of them.
Yeah, let's get on to the next shooting video. I like those way better than this kind of stuff, but we got to address it because we got to make sure we can deliver in all 50 states on exactly what it is we've agreed to do. And that's the answer to the question, hey, how come it says lawyers can't post bonds in my state? How can you guys get this done? That's how we get it done. We post it with a third party's money that's dedicated, that's in the bank, that we have access to, that we can use immediately to get it done.
Now, if you guys are looking for where that is located in the AOR fee agreement. Go and check out section 4G. You're going to see it all detailed there. Make sure to read it carefully. It lays out everything that we're talking about. If you like this video, then make sure to like it, subscribe it, share it with a friend, and leave us comments and questions. We love interacting with you guys. Make sure to go and check out attorneysonretainer.us to learn all about this awesome program that we've created for you guys. We are not interested in being the second best program in the industry, and we're confident we've made the best. And it's for reasons like this we've taken the time to make sure to give you guys the best product on the market in all respects. So go and check out attorneysonretainer.us to learn more about this awesome program and what it can do for you. Also, learn more about our law firm, attorneysforfreedom.com, to see what we're all about and see what our law firm is up to. Until next time, my friends, this has been attorney Andy Marcantel and attorney Marc J. Victor.
Peace.